Hi everybody. So I'm John Bell, for those who don't know me, aka Dadpool. Yeah. Wow. Where to start with this one? So I will say I'm going to give a warning on this video. So carry forth if you want to. I will be talking on a taboo subject known as suicide, guys, and I've learnt myself I can talk more or less about anything to do with my own struggles, but you just have to be so careful in life, because a lot of things become a contributing factor and a makeup of why we all struggle, and then you start touching on other people's stories, and sometimes they aren't ready to have their story public, should I say, or have it out there because it's their story as an individual. So this is my story. This is my story and how I struggle after the loss of my son. So I deal with thoughts of not wanting to be here every single day since losing my son, and I'm going to be absolutely vulnerable here and put this out there. I don't want sympathy, guys. I'm not looking for sympathy. I'm not looking for you'll have your own empathy based on your own situations. You will. That's just natural. I'm not looking for pity. That's definitely one thing I don't want. I don't want anybody's pity at all. I've got enough of my own pity for myself, waking up without Jake every day. So I've learned basically to deal with my thoughts, my tendencies. I've learned how to deal with them, and I have to, because these are daily thoughts, and I learned to sort of be at one with myself and want to live despite how much pain and suffering is felt from such trauma. And this is mine. I own this. This is absolutely mine. Nobody else's. What I'm talking about right now is actually not about anybody else but me, how I deal with my traumas as a bereaved father, and losing a young boy, my firstborn son, who's only 15 years old, and the complexities that come behind 15, being a youngster and everything, and then having all the children as well that you have to be here for. You have to learn to find a way so that you don't create a ripple effect. Naturally, when I've spoken in the past, I've had people say in the comments, how did your son die, etc. That guys, that is, don't worry about that, okay? He was young. Now the important thing is the ripple effect, the massive ripple effect now, and tendencies this can pass on, where some of us cannot even admit to ourselves because it's too frightening. It's classed as selfish or whatever taboo-ness is round the big S word of suicide. There's a reason it's taboo in society, guys, and I want to talk about that so much. I really want to talk about it so much, and I'm scared that it has a negative effect on other people more than anything. I've learned to come to terms with feeling that way every single day and find a way to live. And the purpose has to be yourself. The purpose has to become yourself, no matter how much you try. If you have thoughts of not wanting to be here, and you're trying to stay for other people, got to find that self-worth. Got to develop that self-worth. You look at the entire education. I'm sorry, you guys, but you look at the entire education system as well. I don't A-levels, blah blah blah, putting pressure on kids. Yeah, fair enough, but let's stop with the absolute bull and rubbish of you have to do this because this is part of the societal norm. I'm sorry, I know I'm mimicking, I know I'm patronising that, but what good is all that if we're not looking at the well-being of our children, and just everybody's well-being in general? We need to be our own priority. We need to teach that inside schools. Parents, we need to teach that, I think, that teach our children that they need to be their own priority as well. We all need to be our own priority. And I'm not talking about in a selfish way. Because it's so easy for us as time goes. I've been out for a walk today, and I had a smile come out. I spent some time with myself for for the first time properly in a while. Spent some time with myself because I've been struggling again recently. To get to know yourself, it is so important, it really is. I smiled today, and the smile felt... I smile quite a lot of days. I feel joy after losing my son still, but I smiled today, and the smile felt beautiful. Do you know, like a newborn baby? Do you know when you see a newborn baby smiling? It's like, oh, it's wind or whatever we say. Do you know what I mean? But it's there. It's an innocence that's not been polluted yet by a societal norm of a creation by human beings. Has not been perversed in the slightest way yet. And I had that smile today myself as a grown man. It's beautiful. And I feel I've learned to deal with my grief on a level and my pain and suffering. And I'm not in competition with anybody else. Whatever you're feeling out there is yours. And it's important we learn to sort of own that in our own way and find ourselves again. I feel as, despite not wanting to get up every day, guys, and I've said this today to somebody, I've said it no end of times, I spend every night, I don't want to go to bed and I don't want to get up and do this again without my son. And this is coming from a bereaved parent, and I don't want to turn around and say I have suicidal tendencies. I'm probably safer than most people on this entire planet from taking my own life, because I understand my thought processes and develop coping mechanisms. But I don't think there's one person out there who isn't vulnerable to having thoughts where they question themselves and don't have that amount of self-worth, and they think they're a burden on other people as well. We can feel so easily that we are a burden on others. Guys, it's all about that self-worth. We're not a burden. In the reality of things, everybody in life is going through their own problems. We all go through our own problems, and we just need to learn to be a little bit more compassionate. But that has to start with yourself. If you can't have that compassion for yourself, you're not going to learn to develop that self-worth. And we're adding to another ripple effect. Do you know what I mean? It's between now and Christmas, I'm dreading seeing things popping up of other people not here anymore, they've taken their own lives. And I just know it's going to happen. I don't want it to. How do we deal with that? We wake up and we want to be ourselves. Who are we? Who are you? Have you gone inside yourself? Have you spent time with yourself to ask yourself who you actually are? See, I don't feel I need to be here saying this. I don't need to do videos and say these things, yet I still have this impulse to do so, because I've learned something, and it's an individual journey. I've learned to come through such a pain and trauma and suffering. No matter how much you think yours is worse than mine out there, like I said earlier, it's not a competition. It's not a competition at all. Every individual, every human being will feel that their suffering is worse than somebody else's because they're the ones feeling it, okay? I've learned to deal with mine. And at the other side of the darkness is a profound beauty. So... wow, but you've got to want to live. You've got to want to be here for yourself. You've got to want to take those steps. You've got to want to turn up, show up, and keep taking those steps and moving forward. You really have. It does. The purpose is all of us, guys. And then you stop blaming other people. So it's so easy to think outside and think, I'm like this because of that or because of that, etc. Do you know what I mean? And it's got to go inside. We don't have to allow other people's actions to bother us in a way that we lose our peace of mind. Yeah, we're not at war with each other. No one's at war with each other. All that wars have been. I don't even. There's so much goes on in this world. Human beings. Wow. There's more to our evolution process. Surely there's more to our evolution process. And I feel I've found it. But it starts within. not external. It starts within, and then you realise that everything is in it together. Everything. We're all in it together. We're all going through shit. We're all having good times. We're all having bad times. Be nice. Be good to yourself. And do you know what? Challenge yourself a little. Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying you don't have to go right into that Pandora's box and open up all those traumas. That's not for everybody. That is not for everybody, and I wouldn't recommend that if you feel vulnerable to do that. It's entirely up to you how you deal with that. I'd recommend using professionals if need be. I personally, I've found a place there, and I've even had own family members say, it's like you're living in purgatory, John. But I am actually happy. Believe it or not, I am actually happy. And that is, it's not difficult to say, but I think it's difficult for other people to realise. I don't know. I'm happy. How can I learn to be happy after losing one of my children? He lives in my heart. He lives in my heart. And I can't express how much this is. It's just, if I could put into a bottle, I've said many times before, if I could put into a bottle and give this to people, to me it feels like a cure for depression. Yeah, we're all going to feel sad. It's okay to feel sad, guys. You've got it. It's all out there all the time. It's okay. I don't want to drag on in this video. I don't want to drag on. I don't want to bore people. But it's just, you're worth it. You're all worth it. Every single one of you. I'm sat here droning on. I know you are, because I've found the way that I am. So I know every person is. Do you know what I mean? You might have done bad things in the past. You might be thinking, oh, how, do you know what I mean? And as human beings, we develop this, and I'm going to say these words, guys. We develop a poor me attitude, woe is me, and things like this, and feel sorry for ourselves. I know, because I feel sorry for myself. Every morning I wake up, I feel sorry for myself, but I do something about it. That's my choice. What you do is your choice, but I want you to know you're worth it. You truly are. Every single one of us, guys. What is the purpose? It's all of us. Every single one of us. Yeah. Start hating on each other. Why do we dish out this hate? Why do we do it? Why do we think? Does it make us feel better? No, it makes you feel crap when you think about it. Dishing out hate. One of my favourite guys on my podcast audibles I listen to is this guy called David Goggins. A lot of people don't understand. They think he comes from a place where he's egotistical because of how he talks. It's actually the other side of that. It's something else, and it's difficult for us to see that. We're so wrapped up in our own egos and persona we've created. But there's a special place there, guys, for all of us in here, and I like to be comfortable being uncomfortable. As I don't want to rob your words, David, but I love them. But you said it best when I got introduced to you. You said it in a way that I think it's understandable for everybody. And then go back to the haters. So he takes haters' comments and makes a tape of them and fuels himself with it. I love that. I love that. Absolutely brilliant. What works for you guys, though, it's different for everybody. It really is. God, am I blabbling? I just, I don't. I love being alive. Yeah, I fight thoughts every day. Don't mean that I don't suffer. Don't mean that don't mean I'm okay with the fact that my son's no longer here and he has to live in my heart. I've had to be okay with that. I've had to learn to be okay with that, because I've got to live the rest of my years out. Because if I was no longer here, guys, the ripple effect is ridiculous of when somebody takes their own life. Yeah, the ripple effect. And I'm not about to do that. I'm less vulnerable than most, I think, because I live and breathe this, and I enjoy living again, to a point where I wake up every single morning. I feel Reborn. That sounds religious, and I'm not religious. Wow. Who are you guys? Who would you like to be? What type of person would you like to be? Okay. Don't worry about everybody else. Who would you like to be? Have a think about that. Think about what you enjoy doing. Go out there and do it. Go out there and do it. Try not to hurt other people in the process. Yeah. So important. Have a great day, guys. And I'm hopefully looking at creating some content in some way and start moving forward with doing more talks, more raising awareness, hopefully inspire others to see their true worth and help others try and find themselves. Okay, it's your journey, guys. It's your journey. You are absolutely worth it. So please stay. Okay, please stay. Christmas around the corner. I know that's a difficult time for some people. I really do. I can find it being difficult myself, but let's find a way. Find a way. Yeah. You're fantastic. Have a great day.